Hey there, first grade. Welcome to your very first day of Zearn online learning. Today is Monday, March 16th, and we're going to be working through Lesson 8 in Zearn. You should be doing the online component as well as the exit ticket for this, and then the homework after. Once you have watched me do small group, you can move on to the next steps. So each day when we meet here, there might be things that I need you to go grab to work through the lesson. I want you to simply pause the video so that you don't feel rushed. Go get what I need, which will either be located in the packet or the Ziploc bag that was sent home with you, and then come back to me and we can work through our lesson together. If you have any questions or if your parents have any questions, they can email me or we can Google Hangout privately and answer those questions together. You can also rewind the video, which is really nice if you want a little extra help. All right, I do need you to grab two things for Lesson 8. And that is some paper. So go to those packets, and there's going to be, in that week 1 packet, some papers that look one like this. It says Lesson 8. It's got page 58 at the bottom. And then there's the one that's right behind it, where it's got some shapes on it, and it's 59. You're going to get both of those for me. So, last night I decided we were going to eat pizza, and Eve and I both really love cheese pizza. And we were going to split a little mini cheese pizza together. And when I cut it, Eve got really upset, and she kept screaming about the fact that it just wasn't fair because it wasn't the same. Well, this is how I cut it. And she realized that her piece was much smaller than mine. And she said, "Mommy, I want half of that piece." So I had to go back and really think about what half meant. And I'll tell you that half means exactly 1 out of 2 of the pieces of pizza, but those pieces have to be equal, has to be the same. So I had to rethink about the way that I would cut the pizza to make it equal for Eve and I. When I did that, I drew or cut the line straight across this way. You could have also done it up and down or across, as long as both of the pieces are the same size or equal. And some places have square pizzas, which is pretty funny to think about because we're so used to our round pizzas here. But when you see a big old square pizza like this, it would be a whole lot of pizza to eat half. So we want to separate that one into equal fourths or quarters. Fourths means 4 parts. And quarters, the way that I remember that this means 4 is there are 4 quarters to every $1. Just like there are 4 quarters to every 1 shape or 1 hole. Now, if I ask you to cut this rectangular pizza in half, there are a few ways that you can do it. And I want you to pick away right now and draw it. You could have drawn it straight across. You could have drawn it up and down. Or you could have drawn the line from one corner to the other to make it a diagonal line across your pizza that splits it in half. I'm going to pick the diagonal because I feel like it's just a different way to do it, and I'll show you what I mean. So this would also be considered splitting a shape into halves, 1 half and 2 halves. Anytime we know that a shape has 2 pieces, it's split into halves. If I drew another diagonal line across both corners, you can see that I now have fourths. It doesn't have to be perfect. Mine isn't perfect, and we always know we do our best. But we can see that we have 1, 2, 3, 4, which is fourths or quarters. It gives you on here 2 different circles. This one that says image 3 is 1/4 of a circle, just one little piece, 1/4 of a circle. And this one is 1/2 of a circle. So you can see there 1/4 and 1/2. Now, turn to the second page that I asked you to grab. And we see here where I split Eve and I's pizza in half now equals so that we was fair. But I'm going to split this pizza into fourths in a different way that we didn't think about before. So we said that we could split it into half this way, or this way. Then we split it into fourths by drawing another diagonal. But there's a way to split it into fourths by drawing lines straight up and down, What I like to do here is kind of eyeball what I think would be my halfway mark and draw that first. So I'm splitting this rectangular pizza into halves first. Not so perfect, but good enough, right? Now I have two halves that can be split to make this rectangular pizza into fourths. And anything I'm doing here, you can always pause the video and do it on your own speed so that you don't feel rushed. On this page, you're going to see some shapes here, and they're going to ask you to split it into either halves or quarters. I'm going to choose to do this circle into half. And they give you that little dot in the middle so you just know right where the center is. You want your line to go across that dot. Now, if I split this one into halves first, I'm going to go straight up and down this time. Halves. To split it into quarters or fourths, I just have to draw another line that's going in the opposite direction. So I'm going to go across horizontally. And now you can see that this circle that's split into fourths really mimics the shape of that little fourth circle right here. All right, first grade, it's your job to draw halves or fourths on all of these shapes over here at the best of your ability. You remember, you can do it in many different ways. You can draw lines that are straight up and down. You can draw lines that are straight across. Or you can draw lines from corner to corner. So, there are a few different options. You're going to finish doing this before you move on to your online lesson. Thanks for joining me for lesson 8, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.